Welcome to X Confessions Unlocked, where X secrets spill, revenge gets served, and sometimes X's come crawling back. Subscribe now for real, unfiltered stories about love gone wrong, and sometimes very right. Drop a comment with your X drama. Yours could be next. I was cheated on by my ex-wife. Then she emailed me divorce papers and a smug photo with her boyfriend. The notification popped up at 2:37 p.m. on a Tuesday. Just another email in a day full of them. Utility bills, a LinkedIn spam from some recruiter, and then her name. Jessica Holloway, documents attached. I hadn't heard from her in 8 months. Not since the night I came home to half the furniture gone and a note on the fridge that said, "We need space. Don't call." Space. Like we were some overwatered houseplant she was trying to save. Like I was suffocating her just by existing in the same zip code. I clicked it. The body of the email was 3 lines. Greg. Sign where highlighted. The lawyer will handle the rest. Hope you're well. J. Attachments. Divorce papers. I opened the PDF first. Standard legalese. Division of assets. The house. Her house now apparently officially transferred. My name neatly boxed in red where I was supposed to initial my own erasure. Then the photo. Jessica, in that sunflower yellow sundress I bought her in Key West, the one she swore made her look washed out. Her arm looped around some guy's waist, broad-shouldered, stubble like he'd forgotten to shave for exactly the right amount of days. They were on a patio somewhere, drinks in hand, her leaning into him like gravity had recalibrated in his favor. And her smile. Not just happy. Smug. Like she'd won something. Like I was the punchline of a joke she'd been setting up for years. The weirdest part? I didn't throw anything. Didn't scream. Didn't even stand up. I just sat there, fingers hovering over the keyboard, listening to the hum of the office AC and the click of someone's mouse down the hall. Because here's the thing about betrayal. It's not the knife in your back that wrecks you. It's realizing you've been turning around to hand them the blade for years, thinking they needed it more than you did. I minimized the window, finished my report, drove home in silence. The house was too clean. That was the first thing I noticed. No dishes in the sink, no shoes kicked off by the door. Just the faint smell of lemon cleaner and the echo of my own footsteps. I'd been living like a ghost since she left, tiptoeing around the empty spaces where her things used to be. I poured a whiskey. Didn't drink it. Just watched the ice melt until the glass sweat a ring onto the coffee table. The same table we bought at that flea market in Austin. The one she'd insisted was full of character, even though one leg was slightly shorter than the others. I'd fixed it. Of course I'd fixed it. I picked up my phone. Scrolled to her number. Stopped. What was there to say? Why him? Was it the money? The trips? Did you ever love me? Or was I just a placeholder until something better came along? Pathetic. All of it. So I did the only thing that made sense. I forwarded the email to my lawyer with a 1-line reply. Do what you need to do. Then I deleted the original. The whiskey was water now. I drank it anyway. Outside, the neighbor's sprinklers kicked on, hissing like a crowd of spectators. I thought about Jessica's face in that photo, the way her fingers curled into that guy's shirt like she was afraid he'd vanish if she let go. Funny, she'd never held me like that. The first time I kissed Jessica, she tasted like cheap wine and Marlboro Lights. We were at some rooftop party in mid-July, the kind where the air sticks to your skin and everyone's laughing too loud to cover up how badly they want to be somewhere else. She was leaning against the railing, flicking ash into a plastic cup, watching me like I was a math problem she couldn't solve. "You're staring," she said. "You're smoking." I nodded at the cigarette. "Those'll kill you." She took a drag, slow, exhaled through her nose. "So, will boredom." I should have known right then. But I didn't. Because when Jessica Holloway decided to focus on you, really look at you, it felt like being studied under a microscope. Like you were the most fascinating thing in the room. And Christ, I was stupid enough to believe it. Fast forward 5 years. Our bedroom smelled like lavender fabric softener and something sour underneath. Jessica had started buying those expensive detergent pods, the kind that came in glossy black packaging like they were selling cocaine instead of laundry soap. She'd always been like that, obsessed with the idea of things. The aesthetic, the appearance. I found a receipt in her jacket pocket 3 days before she left. $287 at the James Hotel. Room service charge, 2 glasses of champagne, a cheese plate. I held it under the kitchen faucet and watched the ink bleed. "Work dinner," she'd said that night, reapplying her lipstick in the hallway mirror. "Don't wait up." I was sitting on the couch, half watching a baseball game, my fingers sticky from the takeout wings I'd eaten alone. Again. Which client? The new investors. From Chicago. She zipped up her boot, the black leather ones with the heel that clicked like a metronome. Thought they flew back yesterday. A beat. Then she laughed, this light, airy sound that didn't match the way her shoulders stiffened. Changed their flight. Greg, come on, you know how these things go. I did. I also knew the investors from Chicago were women in their 50s who didn't drink. But I let her go. Because that's what you do when you love someone. You hand them the knife handle first and pray they're not hungry. The night she left, she didn't slam the door. That's what kills me. Just the quiet snick of the latch, the hum of her Lexus backing out of the driveway, the way the garage lights stayed off because she wasn't coming back. I sat at the kitchen island with a bottle of Jim Beam and the framed photo from our wedding. Jessica in that stupidly expensive lace dress, me looking like a kid playing dress-up in a rented tux. We'll look happy. Or maybe we just looked like people who knew how to smile for cameras. 3 hours later, my phone buzzed. Need space. Don't call. That was it. No explanation. No fight. Just 6 words and a period, like she'd already deleted me from her contacts. Jessica took the good sheets, the Le Creuset pots, the signed Pearl Jam vinyl I'd had since college. But she left the important stuff. The half-empty bottle of her antidepressant prescription, Lexapro, 10 milligrams. A single pearl earring stuck between the floorboards. A pink razor in the shower, rusting. The pregnancy test box under the sink, negative but when. I didn't sleep. Just wandered the house like a detective at a crime scene, picking up artifacts. Her hair tie on the nightstand, still coiled in the shape of her ponytail. The indentation in the mattress where she used to sleep. The faint outline of her perfume on my pillow, vanilla and something bitter like burnt sugar. I should have burned it all. Instead, I collected her scraps like a goddamn archaeologist, trying to piece together when exactly I'd become expendable. The photo of Jessica and him, Brad, I'd learn later, was taken at the Standard in Miami. I reverse image searched it like some cuckolded Nancy Drew. The metadata gave me the date, November 12th, a full 2 months before she'd officially moved out. I zoomed in, his hand on her hip, fingers splayed like he was measuring her for a custom fit. Her head tilted back mid-laugh, throat exposed. And the kicker, the fucking masterpiece of it all, was the timestamp in the corner. 9:17 p.m. The exact time I'd been in the ER with my dad that night, holding his hand while they stitched up the gash in his forehead from his latest fall. Jessica had texted me that evening. So sorry, baby. Stuck at work. Sending my love. I'd written back. It's okay. I know you're busy. And she was busy getting railed by some finance bro in an $800 per night suite. I didn't cry. Didn't smash anything. Just sat in the shower with my knees pulled to my chest, letting the water go cold. The tiles are the same ones I'd installed myself after Jessica complained the old ones made the bathroom look like a Motel 6. I'd spent 3 weekends cutting, grouting, sealing, my knuckles bleeding, my back screaming, just to hear her say, finally. Now it doesn't embarrass me to have guests over. Now, staring at them through the steam, I realized she'd never loved me. Not the way you love a person. The way you love a convenience. A placeholder. A stepping stone. And the worst part? I'd known. Somewhere deep in the reptile part of my brain, I'd always known. The house didn't feel like mine anymore. It wasn't just the empty spaces where furniture used to be, or the way my footsteps echoed down the hallway like I was walking through a museum of a life I no longer recognized. It was the silence. The kind of silence that settles in after a storm has passed, when the air still hums with the memory of violence, but all that's left is debris. I stood in the doorway of what used to be our bedroom. The mattress was gone, hauled away by movers Jessica had hired, efficient, indifferent men who didn't ask questions as they dismantled the last physical evidence of us. The walls were bare, the nail holes spackled over. She'd even taken the curtains. I could still see her there, though, lying on her side of the bed, scrolling through her phone, half listening when I talked about my day. The way she'd sigh when I left my clothes on the floor. The way she'd turn away when I reached for her in the dark. Had she always been leaving? The question lodged itself in my ribs like a blade. I walked downstairs, my hand trailing along the banister, the one I'd sanded and stained myself after she complained it was too rough. My palm caught on a splinter I must have missed. A bead of blood welled up. I stared at it, this tiny, stupid wound, and laughed. The kitchen smelled like lemon cleaner and nothing else. No coffee brewing, no toast burning, no Jessica humming under her breath as she scrolled through real estate listings for places we'd never afford. Just the hum of the refrigerator, half empty now except for the 6-pack I'd bought on the way home from signing the divorce papers. I cracked one open and drank it standing at the counter where we used to eat breakfast together. Where she'd told me she wasn't happy. Where she'd said, I think I need space, like we were talking about a cramped apartment and not a marriage. The beer tasted bitter. Warm. I poured the rest down the sink. I slept on the floor in the living room, a blanket thrown over me like a shroud. The hardwood pressed in my shoulder, unforgiving. I thought about all the nights I'd stayed up late fixing leaks, patching drywall, replacing broken tiles, try to make this house into something she could love. Had she ever loved it? Had she ever loved me? Outside, a car passed by, headlights sweeping across the ceiling. For a wild, desperate second, I imagined it was her, that she'd change her mind, that she'd come back. But the light faded, and the house was quiet again. Morning came, gray and indifferent. I packed the last of my things into a duffel bag, clothes, my toothbrush, the few photos I couldn't bear to leave behind. The house watched me, hollow-eyed, already forgetting me. At the front door, I hesitated. This was the moment in movies where the hero would have some grand realization, where he'd smash a fist through the drywall, or collapse to his knees, or scream her name into the void. But I didn't do any of that. I just set the keys on the counter and walked out. The door clicked shut behind me. And just like that, I was gone. I didn't look back as I drove away. The house shrank in the rearview mirror, just another box on just another street. Somewhere ahead, the highway stretched out, endless. I rolled down the window, let the wind take what was left. You don't realize you're free until you stop waiting for someone to come after you.